Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the Fireside Chat with Refinery 29. Welcome Philip, welcome Kate. And because some of you might not exactly know what Refinery 29 really is, Philip, maybe you can start explaining us what you actually do.
Yeah, Refinery 29 is a media company for women, especially young women, and cover a range of topics from style and fashion and beauty and women's health to politics and global issues, and reach about 27 million people on refinery29.com directly, in our owned and operated platforms, and probably 175 million women mostly across all distributed platforms that are out there.
And how did you get the idea exactly? I mean, you founded the company 11 years ago already?
Yeah, so the initial idea came about 11 years ago. I was living in Brooklyn at the time. I'm originally from Germany. And we realized that there was an emergence of incredible up-and-coming designers and brands and independent makers and artisans. And we wanted to build a local destination to capture all the great independent stores that were springing up in New York and in London, Berlin, and different cities. And so Refinery became this digital gateway, really, for local discovery. But it was really about the point of view that was different. So it wasn't about big mass brands. It was really about emphasizing and featuring people that had sort of a new point of view and were making something special and unique that wasn't being featured in the mainstream magazines of Vogue and Glamour and Elle, the traditional press outlets.
Can you name like 3 topics maybe that you're doing on Refinery that you couldn't read anywhere else?
I think it was not necessarily that you couldn't read about them anywhere else. It was about the people that we were featuring. And I think the traditional women's magazine press were sort of geared to telling you how the world should be, or how you should dress, or what you should put on your face, or how you should behave, or how you should show up to a job interview. And the idea was that we were going out there and creating something that was really new, something that had a different point of view, something that was challenging stereotypes, challenging conventions, and just celebrating individuality and celebrating creativity.
But like we said before, you're originally from Germany.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell us a story. How did you get to the US? And were you ever thinking about finding a company in Germany?
So I grew up in Cologne. I left Germany when I was 15 to go abroad for a year. And I ended up at a high school in Massachusetts. And I always, deep down, knew that it was my destiny to be in America. And so I stayed, and I eventually went to university, studied in New York, went to work for a political startup in DC, and launched Refinery 29, literally with very little, and built it in the proverbial Brooklyn kitchen, and built Refinery 29 to what it is today. And probably no, I couldn't have imagined launching in Germany. I think that there's something about the just entrepreneurial spirit that New York provided that allowed us to create Refinery and build it into what it is today.
So just to get you an idea, if you talk about Vox Media, if you talk about Business Insider or BuzzFeed, Refinery 29 is normally in that line of those names, but just for primarily for female readers. So Philip, like I said, you studied 11 years ago. Nowadays you have 400 employees just working in New York. And you just said in an interview you're going to make a 9-digit revenue for 2016, which is crazy for a media company, especially from a German point of view. Can you explain us how you make money? Yeah,
so our business is we're a media company, and we make money through advertising, but not through banners and not through pre-roll. Our business is really in providing solutions to brands trying to connect with millennial women. And so in the simplest of terms, it's native advertising or branded content. It's about providing content and ways that we can create relevancy for those brands in establishing really impactful moments for them to connect at a deeper and bolder levels. That's through content, it's through video, it's through events, it's through talent and influencers, or data and analytics. And I actually think we have a video too.
You brought a video.
To show the story of Refinery and the content.
feels a little bit stronger up here, kind of like a head crosswind. It's a little bit gusty, so maybe I'll be able to get a lull so we can get this off.
There's a bit of a crosswind over here. If it's windy where you're at, obviously, you don't need to jump.
Definitely your call.
Shit out every tear, every lie. Anybody wanna dance with me? Sipping on my rum in the corner still. So we are grouped to the morning break. Now we go banana in a sugar shake. Bring the bass up, make a blast a block. Selector gonna feed us with a well-cooked rock. See me, I'm a beam, see me swing. Ting tang, see me like a tingling. I'ma twang my body till the problem's gone. Drop Baba juice, make a goddamn strong. See me rocking now, going tribal style. Dance like a chicken flap, tiger wild.
Here's an interesting experiment. If you Google image search the word woman, you see a variety of images that pop up. I see women who are hypersexualized. I see women who are infantilized. I also see a lot of white women laughing into salad bowls. When I Google image search woman plus refinery 29, the images I see are an amazing array of women being active participants in their lives in a way that is interesting, compelling, and more importantly, actually reflects real life.
When my daughter asks me what I do, I tell her that I talk to women every single day about how to be true to themselves.
This generation is driven by purpose.
She's a woman who's not afraid to go for what she wants.
Doesn't want to be spoken down to, doesn't want some sort of gimmicky bullshit.
Who could possibly like being marketed to by people who don't understand them? They have money and they want to spend it in the right ways, and they look to us to help to guide that path.
When that trust is established, we can drive true, authentic partnerships and conversations.
If you want to talk to this generation of women, you come to Refinery 29.
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram,
Snapchat, Twitter, YouNow.
It's where the user is consuming.
Vine, Periscope, and I think that's it. I think that's it. There's probably more, but that's fine.
We look at data with empathy at the end of the day, and we use that perspective to make stories that resonate with women.
When you partner with Refinery 29, you become part of the voice of this generation.
Okay, Phillippe, great video, thank you. Just for all of you, why is this exciting now that Refinery 29 is here on stage today? Because you launched your German page yesterday. You launched in UK, I think in November. And the German page now is the first page in a foreign language.
It is.
And Kate, you're responsible for the international rollout. Can you maybe explain us how the strategy in Germany is going to be different than in the US? And we just saw in the video how you're going to do it in the US, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think, we launched in the UK 6 months ago, and we're really following the same model here, which is that we want to bring the best of this powerful brand to our audience, curating some of the amazing global content and international stories that we publish in New York and in London. But we also want to make sure that we have a really local product. So we have a big team for a launch, at least, of 9, based here. We really wanted to be based in Berlin because we wanted to be part of the fabric of one of the most creative and dynamic cities in Europe. They are really going to be focused on translating the brand for the German market. A huge amount of original content written in German, and the stuff that's taken, curated from the rest of our network is going to be translated sensitively. It's going to be localized. So really it's about taking the vision and the purpose of Refinery, which is inspiring women with amazing content that embodies style and substance, and really bringing it to this market and making it relevant for a German reader.
And how are you going to reach the audience? Because we just saw that you're using so many social media channels, not all of them are working in Germany, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the reasons why we take this local approach is because we understand that each market is different and needs a different approach. I mean, we launched yesterday, and we have our own platform, refinery29.de. Check it out. But we also are launching on Instagram and Facebook for now. That will evolve and we'll launch on multiple platforms as we develop. But I think in the first instance, establishing that Facebook community has been really important. But we also are working with other partners. Google Play Newsstand, we're up on that. We're doing some work with Yahoo as well. So we're going to be trying to reach this reader wherever they're consuming content and building communities in all the platforms that are most relevant to them.
And Philip, I asked you before, Business Insider started in Germany, BuzzFeed started in Germany. They both have a German site, and it's not really working out so far. Why is Refinery29 going to do it better?
I hope we'll do it better. I think that so global expansion for media companies is a really relevant topic right now because you can scale audiences faster than ever before, and traditionally publishing houses and media companies have given away their licenses to others, and so there's this true moment in building international scale. So of course for us, building international scale is exciting because of the mission, it's exciting because we give brands the opportunity to be a part of that, and because it's simply a way for us to accelerate our audience growth as quickly as possible. With Germany specifically, for us, the idea is we're going to build a German product. It's not just a global product featuring tons and tons of translation of US-based content. Team is here, team is translating our voice and our vision and interpreting that for the German market. And so 50% of the content is produced here. And really leaning into the local component of it is hopefully going to bring that success.
And why do you start in Germany, not in France or Spain or any other country in Europe?
I mean, we started in the UK. That was our first stop, and we wanted to come to Germany pretty soon afterwards. We want to recreate a European base. I think the reasons to be in Germany is the size and the legacy of the media market here is fantastic, and a long history of amazing journalism as well. I think that, as I said before, Berlin is a capital of dynamism, of creativity, of fashion, of culture. And one of the important things to note about our expansion strategy is we're not just here to import Refinery29 to Berlin and to Germany. What we actually want to do is create content from across the country in Germany and republish it in the UK and in the US. So we're really creating a network effect for creativity, and those two factors combined led us to Germany next.
So many magazines want to reach the millennials. So I guess you all know the millennials are this group between 18 and let's say 34 maybe, and you might not reach them through printed magazines. They go via Facebook or Instagram. So why did you do it so successfully? I mean, Refinery is really targeting only millennials, right?
Well, I think the first problem is that people look at millennials as though they're an alien species, as though they just arrived from outer space and you don't really know how to speak to them. So they're individuals like everybody else, and I think there's, from my perspective, sort of three things that make up a millennial mindset. People want to feel globally connected, they care about global issues, they want to have a sense of purpose, and so they turn to companies where they feel like there is a sense of purpose, and they want to feel like individuals, and that means providing content in really sort of niches that gives them the opportunity to speak to, for us to speak to specific groups of people that feel like it's not the right thing to just be generalized. And so to provide specific content and provide that sense of purpose and to provide an outlook out into the world gives you that ability to connect at a deeper level.
And Kate, are the millennials in Germany different than in the US?
I think there are, of course, differences, but the things that they have in common are universal, as Phillippe says. I think global connectedness, I think a sense of individuality, and I think that goes back to the purpose of Refinery29. Like, we're a mission-based company to inspire women everywhere. We want to connect them with independent voices, celebrate creativity. We want to be future-facing, and we want to build communities for them. And actually, women all over like nothing better than to be part of that community, to be part of that change. This is the most powerful generation of women that we've ever seen, according to a variety of indicators, economic, educational, and social. And we're part of that conversation with them, and that's a global trend.
Phillippe, I love that part. You always say this is the most powerful generation of women ever. Why do you think so?
Well, it's the most powerful generation of women, more powerful than their grandmothers or their mothers, because there is a larger conversation now about what it means to provide an equal boardroom, what it means to have equal access to opportunities, to have maternity and paternity leave, and there's simply greater opportunity than there's ever been. And I think there is a greater sort of embrace by this generation of sort of the lack of gender-specific roles. I think people really want to see themselves as endorsing, you know, an equal workplace, an equal society. There's no better representation than the Canadian Prime Minister, who's become the, you know, ultimate example of the male feminist. So.
Yeah. Now you're here in Germany for a couple of days to present your platform and to celebrate the launch. What do you think about the German startup scene when you come here? What do you like recognize in the first moment?
Well, it's actually interesting to me because I left to the States over 15 years ago, and it's obviously amazing to be able to come back and build something here at such an interesting time in media. The startup scene is like more dynamic, more interesting than it's ever been before. There's such an amazing pool of people to hire from, to work with. So we're just thrilled.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's an amazingly buzzing place. The energy, the diversity of creative talent here, it's world class, and we're really happy to be here and collaborate with all those people.
And maybe last question, what do your parents say? Are they proud that you're now launching a German product that they finally can read in their language?
Yeah, that they finally understand what I do.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on stage. Thank you.